Hi, I'm Lauren Rittersdorf from Raleigh's Hillside Farm outside Evansville, Wisconsin. And I'm going to be walking you through Squarespace today and how we use it as an online store. We moved our full CSA sign-up process online in the winter of 2018, mostly because our CSA was growing and our customers really seemed like they were looking for a quicker option to be able to use credit cards. And just to expedite the payment process. Prior to that, we were using Google Forms, and there was a lot of clunkiness from the admin perspective. Now I'm just going to take you through the online store portion of our website. So this is our farm's website. I'll just scroll through it real quickly because one of my favorite things about using Squarespace is that it integrates so cleanly with my website that's also designed through Squarespace. I really love that. So there is the website, and you can see there's a bunch of links on the bottom, a bunch of links on the top, and I really love having my store just directly part of this website. So to get to my online store, you're going to click here. There is also one of the things I love about Squarespace is some of the integrations it has with marketing. So it has also this announcement bar at the top. So you could easily on your home page not only have the online store accessible here through a tab that's pretty easy to find, you could also hype your online store up here in this announcement bar, or even hype a particular product that you're trying to move really quickly, like say it's bulk tomato season and you really want people to constantly know when they come to your website you have bulk tomatoes available. This would be another option. You could just say shop bulk tomatoes in our online store, and then that could click them over to the online store as well. So it's just one feature about Squarespace that I really love. But so this is the online store from the customer perspective. We're looking at the front end of the website right now. I would say one thing, well, this is just my own issue that I need to fix, but one thing I don't love about my online store is just this bar on the top. You can't change this language for the online store, or I can't figure out how. You might be able to. And so I really wanted it to show our farm's name there, and so it's a little clunky having these two things together, so I might want to find a better header image. They're called header images, and every page, if you look, has one of these header images, and they're really fun. But it's a little clunky having a header image on an online store, and so I might need to look into how to get rid of that or how to change it so that it just looks a little cleaner at the top. I don't like all those words together. And then here is what the online store looks like. We use our online store a few different ways. We sell CSA shares during late winter and early spring. We sell CSA shares through our online store. I don't have any of those available right now because it's the end of the season, but so those would all be linked here with an image of a CSA share, and then it would say the size of the CSA share and the price underneath. But right now what we're primarily using our online store for is for bulk products. You can see watermelon, bulk jalapenos, and then we also sell a lot of products to our CSA members, a lot of products from local vendors. So you can see we've got bread here from a local bakery, we've got coffee and tortillas from local shops, we've got some herbal tinctures. All of these products are only available to our CSA members. So that's one of the things we're using this store for. And then down at the bottom, we've also got just some products that are available to anyone. So we've got t-shirts, tote bags, we're selling the Fair Share cookbooks, of course. And then we also do have a couple ebooks for sale. So they're right here. When they click and purchase this, they'll get a link to that ebook. And we have gift cards at the bottom as well. We also take donations through our online store. So again, we're using our online store for a lot of different things, but I would say primarily it's probably our CSA customers who are coming to this page 99% of the time, and they're the ones who are shopping here, so they really understand why we have bread available and who's allowed to buy it and that kind of thing. And so I'll take you through just kind of what it looks like when you click on one of these items. So like I said before, this is a bulk item that we're selling. Ooh, that's funny. I found a typo. It says $20 and says $22 there. But so this price right here that'll show up is the price that I input into the back end. So what happened is I wanted to move them faster, so I reduced it by $2, but I forgot it was in the description. So you can edit the price and you can edit the description here, as well as you can also create a drop-down menu if you've got options. Like if you want to do bulk hot peppers, 5-pound container, and you wanted to sell jalapenos, banana peppers, cherry bombs, a bunch of different things, you could have a drop-down menu. They could all be $20 and someone could just choose which option they wanted. I can show you that with the tinctures in a second. So this is just a very basic description of what the online store item looks like. You don't need a ton of information here. And it's got kind of everything people need to know. So price, volume, a little colorful language. I don't always put that in there. And then this is the kind of thing that we find really, really important because we are marketing our online store primarily to our CSA members. Here, we're letting the general public know, you don't have to be a CSA member to buy this. You can still buy bulk jalapenos for delivery next week, even if you're not part of the CSA, and we're delivering to drop sites. So just really, really clear language about how that's gonna work. And so then if someone was to buy this, they will get a pop-up notification. So you can, this is called a form, and Squarespace allows you to attach a form to every single item you put into your online store, and those forms can all be different. Like every single item in your online store could have a different form attached to it, which is really, really handy because then it lets people know again, hey, this is not getting shipped to you. These jalapenos are gonna be at our CSA drop sites. Which drop site do you want? Because I need to know where to deliver it. So this will work for both CSA members and members alike. I don't put addresses there just because I don't want all my drop sites addresses just kind of out and available to the public. So most people know if I'm in Madison, I know these neighborhoods, I'm going to choose one, and then I know that Lauren's going to follow up with me with the specific address. So they can choose where they're going to pick up, and it gives them a little description here about how that works, and then they will add it to the cart. Added, yay. All right, so then there is one clunky thing I forgot to mention to Claire when we were talking in the beginning. Once you add something to the cart, this is where it will appear. You'll have this little, most customers will have this little hovering thing up at the top that'll say you have a cart. There are some browsers that don't play well with this, especially Firefox, typically on a Mac and not on a Windows, but that is an issue to know about. Just because you will get emails from people who are trying to buy things and they'll be saying, I put 3 things in my cart and I can't find my cart. For some reason, this little hovering cart icon will disappear, usually with Firefox, usually with Macs. And so you'll just email them back and let them know, hey, I think I know exactly what's going on. Why don't you try using it from Internet Explorer or Chrome? And they shouldn't have a problem. But it's really good to know that problem going in, because a lot of times people are like, wait, how do I check out? What do I do now? They don't know that. So just a good thing for you to know. Real quick, before I show you the checkout process, I will show you how one of those drop-down menus work. So here with the herbal tinctures, we're selling herbal tinctures for one of our friends' farms who's nearby. Here, again, I don't tell too much. I just have who it's provided by, so they know it's not one of our products. Typically, I say it's only available to CSA members, but it looks like I took that language off. Usually I have an italicized line here that says available only to Raleigh's Hillside Farm CSA members, so that people know when they come here, like, I can't actually buy this unless I'm a CSA member. So we've got all of the tinctures photographed here. And so people know all of those are available, and they can just select the type this way. So they get a drop down, and you can have multiple features. So I think Rusty Dog shows up that way. Our coffee vendor, you can get whole bean. Oh, maybe that's not true. You can have 2 different select menus if you want. So if we wanted to offer this as whole bean or ground and in different sizes, you would be able to do that. You can have a couple different categories, which is really, really nice. We use that a lot for the CSA because people can choose a different size and a different delivery frequency. So we'll have 2 different choices there to select. But again, this is what this looks like. And this is usually the language that I have here. So orders due Friday noon for delivery the following Wednesday. That's usually all of our add-on items that are from partner businesses will have that language so that people know, okay, I need to order in advance because they're going to need time to procure that product. So I like Squarespace because you can put, like you can see here, a lot of notes in the description, or like with the jalapenos, a tiny bit of notes in the description. You can really go with as much info or as little as you like. So let's add one more thing to the cart so you can see what that looks like. Again, we've got a form attached to this. So it's telling people or asking people where they're going to get their items delivered. You do have to, even if it's a CSA member and they're getting 10 items, they are going to have to enter the drop site every single time. There's no workaround with that. You're attaching the form to the product, so they will have to do that each time, which is a little cumbersome, but people don't seem to mind. And then you're going to click on that little floating store icon to get into the store. And this is what the shopping cart looks like. So you've got here the bulk jalapenos, Rusty Dog, just like a regular store. You could adjust the quantity here if you wanted to. And then go to the checkout. This is what the checkout screen looks like. You do always have to enter an email address before purchase. People can create an account in Squarespace. That's really nice, especially if people are buying subscription products. Like people who want to pay in installments for CSA shares, they are buying a subscription product, so they're getting charged $50 a month, for example, for a $300 share rather than $300 all at once. When they put their email address in here, they can choose to sign in, and that's really, really nice because then they can update credit card information and the website will store that for them. So we'll just walk through this process. And again, you can adjust the quantities here. You can remove just like you can with kind of any online store cart. There is gift codes and discount codes. The discount codes are awesome. I really, really like that because especially in like early bird season time, like we're in now, I will give a discount code to all of my returning CSA members. I can just plug that in the back end. I'll show you where that lives. They're really, really easy to manage. You can choose if you want to do one limit per customer or only over a certain dollar amount or whatever. You can really do any kind of discount code imaginable. So that's really, really great. You can also do gift cards through the more advanced Squarespace accounts. I think it's like you have to have e-commerce level 1 or level 2 to be able to do gift cards, but you can do digital gift cards. So family members could gift a $100 gift card to our farm, and then people might use that for their CSA share the next year. So that's really, really lovely. And then you have to put in your info. They will have to put in all this information. Some people do ask me that for some reason. They don't want to put their phone number in, but I think that's pretty normal. And then you have shipping options. So this, again, I can show you in the back end where you put this in. But I think that is why the Rusty Dog was there, because technically I would, if someone did want to purchase this and they did want to get it shipped, that would be cost effective for me to do. So I do have that in there as an option. No one uses it for like add-on share style products, but for our t-shirts, for our cookbooks, for our tote bags, people will order those in the winter as gifts and get them shipped to them. So we have both shipping options available. You can create shipping options and kind of customize them to the kind of products that you're offering. So only certain shipping options will show up with certain products. So that's really, really nice. And then this is, again, just super normal. You put in your credit card info, gives you another opportunity to put in a gift or discount code in case they didn't see it over here. And then continue, and then it'll just take you to the review and purchase page. You'll click purchase and it'll get you all the way. So now we're going to go into the back end of the website so you can kind of see how it works from a management admin perspective. So there's all of these different options. I'm not going to go into all of them. I don't even know if I know what they all do. One of my favorite things about Squarespace is it's super flexible and super robust. So when I chose the Squarespace site, I did it just because it had an online store available and because it had a pretty simple design and simple learning process. So I really wanted a website that was just super streamlined and straightforward and could do everything I wanted it to do. So it has a lot of features. Again, features I don't even know yet, so I won't talk about them, but just know that that's something great about Squarespace is that it does have a lot of features and a lot of functionality. The first thing I'll show you is this first one that shows up here. This is where all of your online store orders show up. This is a pretty straightforward process. It's the only online store I've ever used, so I don't know how it compares to others. I have heard from some friends who have e-commerce, like bigger e-commerce businesses, that it's a little clunky, and it does feel a little clunky. To process orders, you really either need to print each individual sheet or export them via like a spreadsheet. And so I don't know if some stores have more robust options than that, but there really are only two. And there are times, especially during CSA sign-up season, where I wish I could like have more features. Like instead of it being pending or fulfilled, I wish I could say, sent them an email, but you know, I might still need to do something with them. It might not be fully fulfilled. So sometimes I wish that I couldn't just have it in process or done. I wish there were more options than that. But that's how it is. So you make it work, and I mostly really like this process. We have a 400 member CSA farm now, and so the fact that we're able to manage 400 members using this system tells me it's not too clunky for a CSA farm, but I could understand as you grow bigger than that, it might get clunky. So this is just an example of what an order looks like. I do also receive an email every time someone makes a purchase. So this document here, this order 2051, not only shows up in the back end of the website, it also is going to show up in my email, which I can choose to delete or I can store there if that's part of my process. Kind of depends on how you want to, what kind of process you want to follow. So this is a CSA member with an online store purchase. So he's adding on some items to his CSA share for next week. So he ordered tortillas and canola oil. You can process this one of two ways. You can print it, which you would imagine looks just like that. What I most often do, because we get 10 or 20 or even 30 orders some weeks, is I will choose to just export it. So I will export everything that's pending. So I'll go pending, next, all time, just because everything that's everything from the past should not be marked pending anymore. So I'll just do all time. But you can also, I should say, you can also do a time frame here. So you can do all time, you can do this week, you can do last 7 days. You can kind of choose your time frame that you want. You can do all products, or you can select a specific product. This would be another one of those clunky features that if you're doing 1,000+ orders a week, I could see it getting burdensome. All products or one specific product isn't an amazing choice. It would be nice if that was, you had like a checkbox and you could choose, oh, these are the 10 products I want to fulfill right now. But right now it's all products or specific products. And it's nice with all products, if you're good in Excel, you can just sort by the product and you can delete the ones you don't need if you're not doing everything all at once. See if anything even comes up. So then a spreadsheet will pop up for the criteria I entered. So this is all of my pending orders within the last week. And then you can use this to pack your orders if you like, or you can clean this up, use this however you want. I typically print off these spreadsheets, and then once I have the spreadsheet, I'll go through and I'll mark all the pending orders fulfilled. So I could do that down here. Or you can print them, or you can, I believe, no, that would just be printing that both of them. I thought there was an option where you could check on buttons and export them to a spreadsheet, but that must not be true anymore. I think you just have to use the export at the top like I showed you. So this is usually my practice. I'll mark these as complete once I print that spreadsheet, and then the spreadsheet becomes how I process the order. So again, a little bit clunky because it's not technically complete yet. It's just in a spreadsheet form, but in my eyes, it's complete because I've exported it to something I know that I have so that I can pack it. So that is the order side of things. When you click on an order, so yeah, you can issue a refund here. You can cancel the order, mark fulfilled. I talked about the marking fulfilled. These two are pretty straightforward. If someone emails you and is like, oops, that was a duplicate order, I didn't want that, or for any other reason, you can just go right in and cancel it, and it will refund it. Or if they just get something that they didn't like, I like this part of Squarespace, but it's a little crazy that you can do it this way. So this guy spent $13 because he bought 2 different things. If he was unhappy with just one of them, I can offer a partial refund. I can just be like, oh, I'm going to refund him $5. So that's cool. If he was only a little unsatisfied with the product, I could refund him $3. I don't know. It's cool that you have that flexibility, but it's also a little strange that you're not choosing items. You're just throwing some money back towards them. But it's nice that it's so simple to use. I have had to use it a couple times. Internal notes, I don't use this feature, but looks nice. And then this I do use a lot, especially with CSA members who are like, hey, I need a receipt for my insurance. They got a receipt when they made their purchase, because not only will you get an email when someone purchases, they'll get an email that looks exactly like the one that you just received. So every person is receiving an order confirmation right away. Often people delete that, they lose it, it goes to spam, whatever, they'll want another one. So I can just go right in here and say send. I can even change the email address to someone else's if I want to. So if it is going to spam and I resent it and they just can't get it, I could email it to myself and then forward it to them. So that's a pretty cool feature. I really like that. But so we did used to use the online store platform for a free choice style CSA, just because we really wanted to experiment with free choice CSA. We didn't want to pay for a software. And so we created another online store, not the one I showed you, but a secondary password protected online store that only was available to our CSA members who signed up for the market share. And so they would go into that store each week and they would select whatever they wanted. We didn't really have limits. So it was just like, do you want $100 worth of produce this week or $10 worth of produce this week? Doesn't matter. You bought a gift card for the season and you're just spending it down. So that's how we structured our market style CSA or our free choice CSA. So if you choose to do something like that, that is an option. You would go in and you would select all of your pending orders that are for the free choice CSA. And so that would look similar as when I showed you the export before. You'd go in and you'd take all the orders from the last week and you would export them into an Excel spreadsheet, and then that would become your pick and your pack list for the following week. That is pretty clunky, which is why part of the reason we're not doing it anymore. Luckily, our customers weren't really demanding the free choice market style CSA, so it wasn't really hard to get rid of it. But it was pretty clunky doing that through Squarespace. So that is an option. We were doing it with 30 CSA members and it worked, but I would say it's not ideal. A software would probably definitely be a better option, or a different style of online store. All right, so customers, this looks really similar. Oh gosh. This looks decently similar to how the orders looked. It's kind of just this rolling scroll with a bunch of names. We don't use this a ton, but it is an interesting feature that Squarespace has. They will list, as long as your customers are using the same email address each time they place an order, they are going to lump all of their orders together over time, so that you can see the total spend of CSA members or online store customers, the total numbers of orders. You can see their last order, and that is a nice feature if you're wanting to celebrate some of like your highest spenders or your most repeat customers. If you're trying to do some sort of extra promotion for them, or you just want to be able to pay extra attention to them, there is that feature in here. You don't have to like look for it and pull out spreadsheets and try to figure it out. It just tells you. So that's really, really great. And I think all of our subscriptions must be done, but when we have people paying in installments for the CSA, that will show up here. So we'll also know who has reoccurring payments, and we can change their settings for them there and do that kind of thing. This looks a little different, and I haven't done all of these things yet, but Squarespace did develop a new kind of email marketing integration that I've heard is really, really great. So if you don't use MailChimp and you don't really want to learn a new system, but you are interested in email marketing, Squarespace might be a good choice for you, because you can create campaigns right here through the back end of the customer portal. Then we've got discounts. So I talked about this a little bit on the front end, but this is what it looks like on the back end. Super, super easy to create discounts. I have a whole bunch of them that are active. I probably have a few that are inactive. You can even schedule them if you want. I don't use that feature too much, but that's really helpful for like, you start your CSA on January 1st at 8 in the morning, and you want there to be something live then, but not any earlier. You can put that in there. Super straightforward. So to create a discount, you give it a name. You can create a discount code or just ask them to generate a code for you. It'll be a random combination of letters and numbers. Then you can choose % off, amount off, free shipping. So again, like I was saying, it's got a lot of choice here, which I love. You can apply it to any order, single products, just certain categories of products, or orders over a certain amount. You can limit the number of uses. So you can say once it's used 10 times, it's burnt out, that's all. Or you can have unlimited uses for the discount code. You can limit one per customer. You can exclude certain things, and you can give it start and end dates, or it can never expire. I do use Square Store as well for some other products that I sell, and the discount codes the features just aren't that robust. And I really, really love this, that I can easily turn things on and off. I can limit it to one customer. So if I'm giving a huge discount to like a site host, they don't accidentally use it twice. It's really, really great. I love the discount feature. And then, yeah, it keeps a list of everything you have. So it's really easy to find and see all at once, so that you can turn it off, so you can reuse it, whatever. It's all listed in here for you, so you don't have to try to remember what you created. And then how you actually use the online store, or how you add products. You can add products through this inventory tab. That is not generally how I do it, but that is an option. You've got an add product feature up here. But what I typically do is I go to the pages. This is how you design your whole website. So right now you're seeing the navigation and the features for my entire website, but the online store is one of my pages of my website. So that's how I go in to edit it. And so I can see pretty much the whole back end here. So I'm seeing on one side of the screen what my online store looks like. And I can choose to do things on both sides of the screen, but I like usually doing it over here and then seeing how it looks over on the right. It's really, really nice. So here are all the products that are either live or have ever been live that I just kept, but they're hidden. So you can see we had bulk cherry tomatoes, bulk tomatoes. They are hidden because we are no longer selling them, but we were selling them. So I chose to keep those because they'll probably go live again next year, and why go through the work of finding those photos again. And then here is all the products. They're not hidden. So those are all the ones that I'm going to see on the right in my page. Here we used to be offering some baked goods from a local bakery. They're no longer doing the baked goods, so I just made them hidden. I'll probably delete them soon because I know now that they're not coming back. But I wasn't sure. They were just taking a couple weeks off when I first marked them hidden. So again, super convenient to just be able to mark them as hidden and not have to go in and find the price and input it again and input all the information. I can just mark it as hidden and wait and see what happens. And then here's all the products that we saw earlier when we were scrolling through my online store. Looks pretty similar. There's fall storage share. Again, I keep this every year because it doesn't change too much. Don't have to go look for new things. I'll put this live in a couple weeks. Occasionally we'll do, bulk greens, bulk onions. We've got those kinds of things. We did do home delivery this year, and we decided to do it after the CSA shares were already sold. So we added it as a product into our online store. So any CSA members who wanted to opt in to home delivery would just go to the online store and purchase home delivery and add that to their share. So we put that in there that way. But so that's what all of the products look like. And so to add a product, you can click this button here. It's going to ask you what kind of thing you want to sell. So physical must be shipped by the merchant. So when I showed you before the shipping choices on the front end, if you select physical, it's going to link to that so that someone has to choose how they're going to get it shipped. If you do something digital, that's customers are going to receive a secure link. So like for my ebook, I use this because it's digital, and then I can put that right into the product that I can just automatically have it send that email for me. And then service, I often use for the CSA shares just because they're not going to be shipped. They can't be shipped. So I usually do CSA shares as a service, even though they're a physical product, just because then they don't have to choose the shipping option. They choose a drop site instead. So I'll show you what that looks like. So all of the products look very, very similar, whether it's a physical product, a service, or a digital product. You've got an option here to put in a photo. You can put in as many photos as you want, which is really great. You can use tags or categories. We don't use either, but if you've got a huge online store, that might be really, really useful to you. Then you put in the product name. The more detail, the better generally. For pricing, when you click on that, it'll actually always take you over to this second tab up here. So, you can put in your price, you can put in a sale price, mark it on sale or off sale. We don't usually use that feature, but that is a cool feature. You can add specific images if you're selling, 4 different styles of CSA shares, but you want them all to live in one product. You could, add 4. Oh, I need to do options first. You can put how many are in stock. You can say that there's 10 or 100 available, or you can mark it as unlimited. And then what it was telling me there, it won't let me add a second product until I create a category that the products are going to be, how the products will be different. So color, size, style, material, like I was saying before with coffee, the size of the coffee package, ground or whole bean, that kind of thing. So, for CSA share, maybe it's size of share. And so then I can put large share versus small share here, and then they can each have a different cost. They can each have a different number in stock. They can each have a different sale price. They can each have a different photo, different SKU, all of that. So that's awesome. I'm guessing most online stores do something like that, but I really like how much variability you can have. And again, we can do something like this that says delivery frequency, because at our farm we offer 8 different total styles of CSA. We could say large weekly, and we could say large bi-weekly. So we could go through and we could create, all 8 categories for all 8 of my CSA shares. And that's usually what I do. Additional info, you don't always need this because on this front screen, you've got a bunch of information here. So you can type all the basics about your products that you need. You really want to put the main things that you want people to know right here, because that's the first thing they're going to see next to the picture when they look in the online store. But if you have a lot more, if here you just want to put, 1 paragraph about your CSA shares, that's great. And then down below, maybe you'll want more photos, you'll want more text, you want more examples, maybe you want a customer testimonial. You could put tons more stuff down here, and you can add photos and videos, whereas over in this area, it's really just words for the most part. So that's really nice that there's kind of you can put a ton of content into these products if you want to. Then here's that form feature I was talking about. So this is where you add a form in, and this is also where you create new forms if you want a certain form connected to a certain product. You don't have to. So if you're just, someone's buying something and it's just going to get shipped to them, you don't need any form. The store will know that they chose a physical product. It'll ask them shipping preference. You won't have to do that. But it is really nice for things like CSA, because I'll need to know where they get their CSA box delivered. And every year that might change a little, the drop sites. So, or this was actually for home delivery, now I'm realizing. So I put in their address line. They were only eligible at certain certain zip codes, so I only put certain zip codes in there. And then any special deliveries, instructions for delivery, you can put that in there. So the forms are super, super helpful depending on how you're distributing your product. If you're distributing it maybe at market, maybe at a CSA drop site, maybe home delivery, people get to choose. You're going to want that selection process in there, because oftentimes farm products don't look like a normal store. We're not just always shipping stuff out. So you've got all those options, and it saves that for you, and you can name them so you can find them again. There's that. And so then this is really nice. This is where you're going to create your product URL. So you might actually want it to be bulk tomatoes. So it's really easy to link to, and it's just so it's really easy to link to, really easy for people to remember. So you can choose your link. You will want to put an image here. Usually it will pull the original image you put in, but like, I guess I can't. Often I'll duplicate products because that's easier than creating a brand new product. I'll show you that in a second. But if you duplicate a product, it'll duplicate the original image. So I'll often make sure I change the image both places, because this is what will show up on social media if you share the product link. I don't do these ones, so I don't know that. Nope, don't know what those do. I don't use SEO, but again, it's awesome that you can if you want to, if you're good at that kind of thing. Social preview, so there's no photo attached, so I can't see what it looks like yet, but it'll show you what the social preview looks like. And again, you can upload a different image if you wanted to share a different image. And then share, I don't use that one. So I'm guessing, yeah, you can connect your social media accounts, cool. So there's a lot of features. Again, I love Squarespace because it has a lot of features, but you don't have to use them all. So I'm using, maybe 25% of what is possible here. And that's really, really awesome. So you can really get creative and figure out what you need and use it. The one thing I did mention earlier, you can also do subscription products. So I love that. Oh, let me click on it for some reason. Okay. So here you can choose subscription services, either how often you want it to repeat. So every month, every 2 months, every 3 months, and how long you want it to go for. So ongoing payments, if you're doing some sort of year-round CSA and you want ongoing payments because you want them to be renewing kind of indefinitely, or maybe you do 5 payments and that's how your CSA members pay in full. You have a lot of flexibility here, and I really, really love that. So that is, let me just get out of here because I'm not really creating anything. All right, so that's how you would go about setting up a product. An even easier way to set up a product, especially for like bulk items, is I can just go in once I have an item and everything's kind of formatted how I already like, and I can just duplicate it. So I use that feature a lot just to save time in season, because maybe I have to put 5 bulk items live really quickly. This is just an exact duplicate, and I can just switch and say, bulk cherry tomatoes instead. I'll have to switch the photo. I might have to switch the price. I might have to switch a little bit of language, put cherry tomatoes instead of jalapenos. I might have to change a date or change the form, but it's a lot quicker. And that's how I usually go about creating a product, because a lot of it's already created for me. So I'll cancel that one. And then, the only other thing I was going to show you there is just how you can make things hidden too. So like I was saying before, you can turn products on and off really easily. So if we're out of jalapenos, we can just mark it as hidden. You can schedule it for a certain day and time, or you can make it visible. So those are really, really great features. It gives you a lot of flexibility over your store. So you can track inventory 2 different ways in Squarespace, which I really, really love. You can go into the individual item and edit the inventory. So every Sunday you can go in and update your bulk products, because you know approximately how much you're going to have of certain things. And again, you don't have to have an inventory. I have inventory on my bulk jalapenos because I know they're limited. But with something like bread that I'm buying from a vendor that they have unlimited supply of, I can have that as unlimited. So you can choose how much you have in stock or whether you want to have it unlimited. And then you could go in and look at every individual item every Sunday or every individual bulk item every Sunday, or there is this nice feature in Squarespace called inventory, and you can see all of your products at one time, and you can see the kind of inventory you have. So it'll show you your stock right here, and you can adjust it right here. So again, if you're going in on Sundays and you just want to update all of your bulk produce, you can make all those adjustments there. And I should have said, I wonder if you can see it here, you can have different inventory of different like sizes in the same individual product. So for example, our t-shirts, you know, we've got all these different sizes. We have different stock and inventory of all of them. So, I mean, again, you have really, really great options and functionality here. And then I am just going to show you one quick piece of the marketing that I love the most about Squarespace. So again, I chose Squarespace because everything integrates. I didn't have to build a website and build an online store and put them together. It's all together in one awesome thing. And I also loved that it had some of those built-in marketing tools. They're developing more, so I don't know a lot of the new ones, but these two were here when I first built my website in 2018, and I use them all the time. So there's that announcement bar I talked about. This is where you edit that. So that's this thing right up here. I think you can make it, maybe you can only make it a link. Yeah, you can only make it a link, but you can change whatever language you want. So a lot of times once we hit, November, I'll make that a CSA share waiting list. Or if you have something to hype in your online store, you can put people there and then you can link to whatever you want to link to. So that's really, really wonderful. And then also there's a promotional pop-up. And so this is that pop-up. Look at that nice thing. So that's the pop-up you see when you first come to my website. Again, I could send them straight to my online store if I wanted to. I can send them to my email list. I can send them to another website. I can send them to a specific product page. You can change all these different things. There's different actions, different timing for different pages, the frequency that these pop-ups appear, all that stuff. And I really, really love that because I didn't have to go through some other service, figure out how pop-ups work, and then integrate them. It's just built right into the platform. So that's really why I love Squarespace. They're kind of learning how to do everything in-house. They have really great support, so you can learn how to do everything in this one space instead of trying to figure out how to connect different things, which I'm not great at. So that is the back end of Squarespace. I think one of the main things to think through when you're deciding what sales platform you want to use is just trying to be a little forward thinking in the types of things that you may want that sales platform to do for you in the long term. So for us, we thought we were just going to be selling CSA shares, and I knew I was going to do some more marketing things. So we chose a website that was really clean, that had a really simple online store, that had some marketing functionality to it. We didn't even know it had the ability to do gift cards and to do subscription payments and all of those things. We got lucky that we chose something that had that many elements to it. But if you can, maybe think through the types of things you would love for an online store to do for you in the long term before you select one, because switching an online store is a lot of work. So setting one up, adding all those items, doing all of that, it's more work than just setting up a website. It does take a lot of time. So really thinking through, like, what do I need my store to do now? What might I want it to do in the future? Thinking through those future needs when you decide on your platform, I think, is a really, really wise idea. That'll save you a lot of work in the long term.